Hello everyone, my name is Brennan Whitaker, but you probably know it from the name of the channel, and I just have to ask, is this weird to anyone? Like, I'm gonna explain it, but I just have to ask firsthand, is this weird to anyone? Now, on the left side, you have this thing that's pretty divisive. It has a lot of quality to it, and has a lot of good things about it, but yet is been criticized to near death. To if you say you like it, you'll get a lot of weird looks. But on the right side, you have this very goofy, I guess intentionally sort of bad. I don't know. I don't know what this is. Now, I haven't seen The Suicide Squad, not not Suicide Squad, because apparently I guess this isn't a sequel. It's its own thing. I guess that's what it is. But from what I've seen of it, the promotional stuff, I already know I'm not gonna watch it, and I would probably hate it from how just nonsensical it is. Now, I've seen a lot of reviews for it. Disagrees. Yeah, yeah, go watch it. It's dumb fun, and I would never watch it just because of that. It's dumb. It looks dumb. It doesn't seem to want to do anything. It doesn't seem to want to do anything new, even. It's like everyone is just another version of what was in the original Suicide Squad, and I just don't appreciate it. This is coming from a DC fan. You know, Nathan Fillion, the voice of Green Lantern, the voice actor of Hal Jordan Green Lantern, he could be the live action Green Lantern right now. But James Gunn decided to make him the worst character, one of the worst characters in comic book fiction. Arm Fall Off Boy. That that was enough to make me never want to watch the Suicide Squad. But for some reason, no one is talking about it. No one is saying, "Hey, why did you do this? This guy could be Green Lantern in real life." And I think it's just because people don't have the same expectations as before. I think standards have gotten so low from how how entertainment's being made right now. Like, I think one of the best examples would be streaming services. Let's go back a few years. 2016, Ghostbusters is in theaters. People say they don't like it because they had to pay money for it and drive to the place to watch it. You know, it's a you had to sit in a dark theater with people, and yeah, everything was divisive. But now, 2023, you can watch something that is 7 times worse than that Ghostbusters thing, and then people will say, "Oh yeah, yeah, it's good. Yeah, I recommend it," because you don't even have to leave your house. You don't have to put on pants. You don't need to buy a $20 bucket of popcorn to watch it. It's just there for you, and you just watch it. It's not even entertainment anymore. It's just content. What streaming services have done is being able to just put anything out there on your TV, no matter how bad it is, no matter how terrible the quality, the acting, or even the concept is. People will still like it because it's just there. It's accessible, anyone can watch it, and that's all that matters. You know, when it comes to audiences, expectations have just lowered, and this is just one of the reasons. Amazing Spider-Man has been criticized for all the things. It's a reboot. Oh, he's not like Peter Parker. How come his Spider Sense doesn't work? And that was 2012, 2014. But now, Spider-Man No Way Home, a film with cheap fan service, no storyline, terrible graphic art, and reused footage from older Spider-Man films to be made, is beloved. Everyone loves it. Made $1 billion in theaters, almost 2 billion. Now, of course, this one was in theaters at least, but I guess that doesn't mean anything because this is what we get now. It's this thing that doesn't really aim to do anything new or special. It's just, hey, you like this? Here, have more of it. Have literally more of it. It's the same stuff you've seen already. And you know, the funny thing about this is that it's riding off the coattails of the Amazing Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield, but people back then didn't like the Amazing Spider-Man. It's just mind-boggling. Like you have a petri dish right here where you can see how things are working. Back then, people did not like Amazing Spider-Man. Like I did. Of course I did. It had a lot of quality. I liked the story, and it was genuine. It wanted to do something new and different. But people didn't like it back then because, oh, it's not the thing they recognize. Oh, I'm going to be very divisive towards it. But now, people love it. It's people love Andrew Garfield, and I have to say, as a fan of it, I did not like Andrew Garfield in this. I saw No Way Home, and I thought how cheap it was that they watered him down. Like Gwen Stacy's dead, and they seem to play that up a lot. But even though Gwen Stacy's dead, Electro was still alive somehow. Lizard is still a lizard. The, none of the timeline makes sense for him, but I guess it doesn't care because hey, people didn't care. I'm sorry, people did care back then, which is why. Uh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This isn't even gonna get edited out. I already know. People back then were very divisive, but now they just don't seem to care. They don't care that none of this makes sense. They don't care that dead people are alive because expectations have just been lowered. People like Andrew Garfield now for some reason, even though you didn't like him back then. I guess it's fine then. But this isn't just the only example. There are several examples. Batman v Superman, a thing that's been ragged on for years over, oh, Batman murdered people in it, even though he didn't. I've watched it. Batman didn't murder people. It was like a second hand murder. He didn't do it directly. It was more so, oh, this thing happened, and that's how someone got killed, which, I'll be honest, every Batman has done. Christian Bale's Batman has killed people. I think it's a very weak thing to criticize Batfleck for. But that's still a problem. But now you can literally change people's skin color in the Batman and get away with it. Like this is no longer Batman. It's just like a weird fan fiction. It's Dark Knight, choose your own adventure, but people are fine with it. Back then, you would be crucified for saying, "Oh, Batman can murder," even though every Batman has murder. But now you can just make someone look it completely different and people are just fine with it. So, oh, you're worrying about it too much. It's fine. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything. Yes, it does. These people aren't who they are anymore. They're caricatures. They're not themselves anymore. But it seems like no one cares because I'm going to say it again. Standards are lowered. Expectations are lowered. No one seems to care because this is no longer entertainment. You're not making anything new anymore. It's just content. It's just things people watch and then they go on with their day. It's no longer something you can enjoy the quality of or see what someone has managed to do with their creativity. This is just it now. And no one seems to talk about it. I'm sure there's some people who do, but I see them get bashed. I do. It's just very strange. Like like the other example I have, I already know people are gonna dislike this, but I don't care. It's a YouTube channel. You're allowed to dislike, so let's just get on with it. Thing is Shonen. Now, Shonen, it's a very weird one because it's sort of been the same for a very long time, so it's hard to say anything new about it, but now this sort of solidifies those criticisms. Demon Slayer is nothing new or special outside of its art style. If you talk to anyone about it, they'll either say, "Oh, Nezuko is cute," or "Oh, the fighting's good." They won't say the story's good. They probably won't say the characters are good because Tanjiro is just your typical "I must get strong in order to protect people." He's just like Goku, or Luffy, or Naruto, or just about any shonen character. But yeah, if you talk to anyone about this, they'll just say those things, and that's because this really isn't anything new. It's your anime where people fight each other and things don't have to make sense as long as the art is good. Now, the weird thing with shonen is you can't say it's terrible. You can't exactly say it's terrible because it's not. It's clearly put a lot of work into it, but at the same time, you can't say it's great either. you can't even say it's good. It's just fine. Like that's the thing with shonen. I think most or all of shonen. It's not good or great, but it's not bad either. It's just fine. It's this very safe genre subgenre where you go in, you get exactly what you expect. You need to get the sword fights, you need to get the stock characters, you need the ecchi stuff. There's like a list, a check mark when it comes to this stuff where you have to check every box, and that's how you draw people in. If your shonen does not have all the things other shonen have, then it will be less popular. That's what my theory would be. And I mean, I guess Demon Slayer proves that right because it is just another shonen. It just looks slightly better because of the art style and I guess the cinematics. But yeah, Demon Slayer. I can't say it's terrible, but I've watched the first season. It's just another shonen. It's almost exactly like any other fucking thing where you have to hunt monsters and oh god, it's fine. It's fine. But it wasn't always like this, back in the old days. Even with like things people didn't like generally, like Amazing Spider-Man 2. It not only has story, but it was worked on by Weta actually, which are the people who did the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which it shocked even me. I didn't know that. And then yes, Suicide Squad, where they used actual guns, none of those plug-in effects that we have nowadays. Now, of course, they have blanks. They don't actually have live rounds, but yes, they are real guns with Navy SEALs training them, immersion training. Like it sounds crazy, but it is real. Like you can check it out yourself. That was all in 2016, the year of going to the theater and being very divisive over things. But now, nowadays, just look at it. So, I don't know what it is. I just know it's not real. It's not a real thing. It's just some effect. I'm not gonna see the Suicide Squad. If someone wants to tell me what it actually is, maybe it is a real thing. They made a real fan gun, and I guess that's how it works. But for now, I'm just gonna say it's fake because it just looks fake. It looks goofy, definitely, and I just don't have any interest in it at all. Like expectations are just so low, but people are fine with this, I guess. It's dumb fun. That should be just on the back of the box for every disc they sell this. It's just dumb fun because everyone says that. And now I know what you're thinking. Well, hey, at least the visual effects people are getting a lot of work doing this, getting paid a lot doing this. Well, no, they aren't. Sorry, this point. Visual effects people are burned out and broke with how dependent things are when it comes to visual effects. Whenever you see a CG thing, imagine a person working overtime to fulfill that, and he's still in danger of getting laid off because that's most likely what's happening. When it comes to Disney, Marvel, which is just Disney again, and Netflix, it's most common. You have several documentaries on this. Visual effects, it's not just a shortcut. It's a shortcut that's hard on workers. You know, it does say a lot in in Hollywood when a person who you're very dependent on works on your movie and they pay out of pocket to make that movie, but then they go bankrupt when your movie makes a profit. It says a lot about Hollywood when stuff like that happens. And so this doesn't really work for anyone. It doesn't work for the audience, and it doesn't work for the people making this because, again, expectations are low, standards are so low that people just don't want to do things for real now. They have to depend and force people to overwork to make stuff now. And it's sad. I wish things would change because it's just weird. Like just the bottom line of this is it's just all fucking weird. Seeing people go, "Oh yeah, this is great. You should watch this. This is really good." And I'm just going, none of this even looks real. None of the bullets even look real. Like the blood splatters, it's like a It's like a Rocket Jump 2012 video. No offense to Rocket Jump. It's a good channel, but it just looks cheap. Nothing looks good anymore. Like it's just hard watching things now. I've just gone back to like old John Carpenter films. Those look so much better than what's out right now. Like I'm sure there are a couple things out there that are decent, but like when it just comes to expectations, that's the number of good things is just gonna dwindle because yeah, these things make a profit, sadly, for the most part. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. And that being said, have higher standards, please, so this stuff doesn't happen anymore. And for the love of God, please do not give Indiana Jones 5 the benefit of the doubt. You've seen the warning signs. You know it's gonna be bad. He's gonna get switched out for someone else. It's literally a movie about time travel. You've seen this before. You've seen this with Doctor Who. You've seen this with Terminator Dark Fate. You've seen this happen. Do not give this a chance because it'll only hurt things. It'll only hurt people more. Not physically. Well, I guess physically, if visual effects people are working on this, yes, this will physically hurt people. All right, yes, I'm saying it because it's probably true. That being said, um, if you like what I'm doing here, comment, subscribe. You can also follow me on Rumble, Odyssey, Minds, Locals, and until next time, take care.